Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Manny B Investing. I want to get into some news here. I want to cover crypto news in general that definitely has an impact on what we're here for. We're here for DeFi 2022. We're here for the explosion, the Cardano network, many other networks doing a lot of great works. And if I find anything that may not be on Cardano that may be able to cross-chain or EVM into the Cardano world, I want to bring that as well. But this government regulation stuff, the boring American government stuff, it has an effect. It has an effect on the entire market, the entire world, because typically other nations, first world nations, tend to follow the lead of the American regulatory system. So the SEC Commissioner Hester Peirce says Washington doesn't need a new crypto regulator. This person, Hester Peirce, is known as the crypto mom because she's one of the few government officials to actually kind of have a positive thought around crypto, DeFi, all of these new digital assets that we know and love. So let's take a look at the article here. Forming a single regulator to oversee crypto would not be it wouldn't be good for the industry. The regulators woes, said U.S. Securities and Exchange Commissioner Hester Peirce on CoinDesk TV's First Mover on Thursday. I certainly understand the impulse to call for one regulator. I have a couple of problems with it, Peirce said. Typically in Washington, when you build another regulator, all you get is all the existing regulators plus one. Coinbase is among the voices calling for a new single U.S. regulator to oversee crypto. Peirce affectionately called crypto mom by many cryptocurrency enthusiasts for her long-standing support of the industry, has been outspoken about what she sees as the SEC's failure to provide a working regulatory framework for the crypto industry and its tendencies to regulate by enforcement. So what that means is she doesn't like what's happening currently. What's happening currently is there's no rules, there's no boundaries. Whenever the SEC gets wind of something, whether it be a project or a new technology expansion of the crypto world, they kind of just go, hey, blow the whistle, send the lawsuits if they can, or at least try to ban it or make it so that it's very difficult for Americans to get involved in it. So like the airdrop thing, like now, all of these projects are doing KYC just to exclude Americans and other first world citizens from obtaining these assets, typically for free or as a bonus for holding another asset. For example, SDAO or NewNet. If you held AGIX, you would get rewarded with an airdrop of SDAO tokens or NewNet tokens, and that ended up being basically almost like anywhere from like $5,000 to $10,000 for free just for holding tokens. That is a great opportunity. But unfortunately, our American government and regulatory system says, no, we don't want that. We don't want American citizens being gifted thousands of dollars in crypto assets simply because money equals freedom. And if you aren't under the thumb or on the government's I want to say a word, but I don't want to say the word. So I'm choosing my words carefully when I speak about the American government, right? As long as they're feeding you, they're happy. When you go, hey, wait a minute, there's a better option somewhere else, that's when they have a problem, because then they start to feel that they're losing control and they just get scared and they look to just butcher everything. So these enforcement actions have increased under the leadership of SEC Chair Gary Gensler. Peirce pointed out that Gensler's approach to crypto regulation, which is much more aggressive than that of his predecessor, Jay Clayton, who now works for Sullivan and Cromwell and advises several crypto firms, including Fireblocks, is evidence of Gensler's desire to draw clear lines for the industry. But it's really not. It's not clear. You just don't know what is good and what is bad, or what the SEC is going to look at and what they're not. It's kind of just like a monarch system, where the king, Gensler, is the king of crypto, and if he likes it, you're cool. If he doesn't, then expect to get mail, expect to get a certified letter. And the SEC looks at NFTs, non-fungible tokens, exploded in popularity in 2021, reaching $22 billion in trading by December, according to Pierce. The SEC is taking notice. Given the breadth of NFTs landscape, hope I said that right, certain pieces of it might fall within our jurisdiction, of course. Pierce told First Movers, people need to be thinking about potential places where NFTs might run into the securities regulatory regime. While Pierce couldn't say exactly where the SEC's issues with NFTs might lie, she warned about the fractionalization of NFTs, a growing market which surpasses 115 million in trading in 2021. I think that's an area where people need to be careful, Pierce said. I think we'll see during 2022 an increase in fractionalization of NFTs because these are valuable assets. Interesting, very interesting. And this kind of breaks into something else. But I just wanted to play this clip here. Let's see.
Well, and I should start out by saying that the views that I represent are my own views, not necessarily those of the SEC or my fellow commissioners. I think that's well known by now. It is true that we've had a change in leadership at the SEC, which I think has affected every area, including crypto. So part of it, I think, is due to that change in chairman, but part of it is due also just to what you mentioned sort of at the outset, which is that Washington is really waking up to crypto. So I think there's a realization that crypto is not going away, and so there's going to have to be some sort of regulatory reckoning with it. And so the timing of Chair Gensler's arrival at the SEC was quite, I think, fortuitous from that perspective, because he did come to the SEC with experience. He taught courses around crypto and financial technology, and so bringing that knowledge in, I think, was very helpful.
So, I don't necessarily. She has to say these things, right? She has to be upbeat and positive when it comes to speaking about her employer, so to speak. If you're going to follow the Constitution of this country, her employer is actually the American people, but that's just not the way that the government seems to play out. It seems to kind of play into itself. It's, it's this regime, So she's really got to watch what she says, and I totally understand that, and I don't fault her for wanting to keep her career. She has a good job. She has a lot of power. She's not using that power to stomp on people's heads. But unfortunately, the group that she represents I feel like that is their goal. So she's saying, be careful where you end up with these assets. My recommendation is to always stay decentralized, always avoid KYC. That's just me. You won't have to worry about those things if you do that. But unfortunately, you won't get exposure to a lot of exchanges. You won't get the ability to get in on things early, participate in airdrops if you stay decentralized. And there are a few projects out there that are looking to change that. One of them being Orion Protocol. They have a non-KYC launch pad, which is very interesting. You should check them out. But she talks about Gary Gensler and him bringing this knowledge of decentralized finance and digital asset technology details to the SEC. So I feel like it was a Trojan horse, right? So he's teaching these classes at MIT, and he's learning about this technology. But I think really, in a more sinister way, he was upgrading himself to be able to run laps around his peers in the government. And he clearly has done that, being, you know, positioned in the position that he is right now. He has a huge advantage over everyone around him because he has that knowledge. He has that history of not only learning the technology, but teaching it. So I feel it's more sinister than what she is saying. I honestly believe this woman is really smart. She knows in her brain that that's what happened. She just can't say it. So not putting words into her mouth. That's just my speculation around that whole subject. Gary Gensler learned a lot about this industry so that he could use it to climb the ladder in politics, and it worked. Now he's using that to rein in cryptocurrency projects, DeFi projects that have a connection to the United States. It's very sad, very unfortunate, but I understand. I think the positive takeaway you can take from this story is, one, we have people at the SEC that have positive feelings about this industry and about this technology. And two, it's here to stay. And not only do we know that and feel that and believe in that, but the American government also is dealing with that hard fact. Cryptocurrency isn't going anywhere. Cryptocurrency has a place on this planet, and it will take it over. So thank you for subscribing. Thank you for checking me out. I'm just super happy and ecstatic that, I was mentioned by Dan, and we have an influx of subscribers and people that are looking at the content. Enjoy that. Definitely get in the comment section and talk with us, chat with us. Let us know how you feel. I am going to build this platform out. That's the only mission I'm on right now, to provide great content and educate a lot of the new people coming into this space, including myself. We all make mistakes. I make mistakes. Check me. Iron sharpens iron. Steel sharpens steel. 2022. It's going to be a very exciting year for all of us. We're all going to make it. So thank you for subscribing, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.